All right, in this tutorial, we're going to talk about presenting a live event on the BehaviorLive platform. Chances are, if you're watching this tutorial, you were invited by a conference to give a live event, and this tutorial will walk you through exactly how to do that. First thing that you're going to want to do is obviously go to behaviorlive.com to get to our homepage, and then the next thing you'll want to do is make sure that you're logged in, or if you have never been to the site before, go ahead and create an account. One of the caveats is make sure that you use the email address that you would have given the conference, because chances are we've already tied the talk that you're giving to your email address, and we just want to make sure those link up correctly. So go ahead and log in with that email address and create your account. And once you're logged in order to find your live event, we're just going to click your name in the upper right-hand corner and choose My Live Presentations. From the My Live Presentations page, this will basically show you every event that you are set up to give on our platform. You can see in this case, I'm registered to give one talk called Mock Event, and I'm going to go inside that event and show you how it all works. So from the Actions menu here, we click Actions, enter Live Dashboard, and that brings me into the live event. So the first thing that you want to do inside the live event, I'm going to go ahead and make my screen a little bit bigger here, is click Join Presentation. And this will basically turn on your camera. And you can see I'm in Chrome at the moment, and it's going to pop up and ask me if I want to allow BehaviorLive to use my camera microphone. And I do want to allow it, so I'm going to go ahead and click Allow. And you can see we've encountered our first sort of weird issue that sometimes users see. In my case, I have multiple cameras hooked up to my computer, and my default camera is a virtual camera. So what I actually want to do is switch it to my real camera. So I'm going to come here and click this gear icon. And this allows you to pick your camera microphone, just like any other virtual conference software. Zoom, you can pick whatever camera and microphone you want to use. In this case, I'm going to use this virtual camera I have and my AirPods. So I'm going to click Save. And you can see now we just have this virtual video of a woman speaking to her webcam, just for posterity's sake. So once you get your camera working, the next thing you're most likely going to want to do is share your screen. Most people who are giving talks also share their screen. They share a PowerPoint presentation or something of the sorts. So in this case, I am going to share a PowerPoint presentation. So I'm coming over here to PowerPoint. I'm just going to open the default PowerPoint tour presentation. You can see it's just this sample presentation that they give us. And I'm just going to go ahead and play my slideshow. And the first thing that you'll know if you just play a slideshow is it takes up your entire screen. You can't do anything else. You can't see the chat in BehaviorLive. You can't see the video. If anybody asks questions, you won't be able to see any of that. You can't click the Go Live button. Can't do anything because your slides are running full screen. So we have a quick and easy way to get around that. It's really simple. You're just going to go to PowerPoint, come up to the slideshow tab up here, and you're going to click Set Up Slideshow and Browsed by an individual in a window. You're going to change that, save that setting by clicking OK, and then go ahead and start your slideshow. You can see now it's playing my slideshow in a window. I will point out that if you're using Keynote, it does have the same option. From the play menu, you can just choose play in a window, and it will do the exact same thing that I'm about to show you. All right, so the next step is to hop over to BehaviorLive again. We've got our camera going, and now we're going to share screen. So I'm going to choose Share Screen. And in this case, I'm going to pick Application Window because I want to choose the slideshow that's running. So you see I have a bunch of different applications running here. In this case, I'm going to pick my PowerPoint presentation and go ahead and click Share. And you can see it shares just that window. And the cool thing is now I can move this around and resize it so that I can see the chat on the right-hand side here and all the other BehaviorLive tools as needed. What I always tell people is it's best to just sort of resize this window so that it sits just on top of the image of your slides right behind. So you can see behind me, I've got the image of my slides. This is my real slideshow, so I can set it right there, resize it so I can see exactly what the end user sees. I can see my camera, the chat, videos, polls, questions. I can click Go Live as needed. So that's really simple screen sharing. The next thing that I want to point out is you'll notice up at the top it says, you've got this big green bar and it says you're in the green room. Nobody can see you. Connect with your guests and check your camera and mic. And the way we've designed this is basically the green room is a place for you and your co-presenters to kind of get set before the event starts. None of the end users, none of the attendees can see you until you actually click that go live button. So you can invite co-presenters on screen, you can get set, and then when you're ready to go live, you click go live. That banner will go away and then all the attendees can see you. So it's just a good place to come in, get everything set before anybody can see you. So a quick tour of all the tools that BehaviorLive offers. So first one, pretty simple, is a chat. I can just type chat messages on the right-hand side, and other members who are in the room can also type messages. So you can see just shows their icon. You can do emojis. You can type some into the box, or you can choose from the emoji picker. As a presenter, sometimes the chat can fly by. The chat can be distracting. If you don't want to see the chat, you can simply hover over the chat and click this little arrow on the upper right-hand corner, and that will collapse the chat and get it out of your way. If at any point you want to bring it back, you just click here, and it will come back up. Okay, so like I said, the chat can fly by. It can be hard to pay attention to if you're presenting a talk, which is why we have the questions box down here at the bottom. So questions is a place for just that, questions. This is questions geared towards you as the speaker and your co-presenters. So let me go ahead and log into my other computer here, and I'm going to type a question. You see, I just said, what does this talk about? And the cool thing is all questions can be upvoted. So every user can upvote a question, and questions with the most votes will float to the top of the list. And this is great because if you only have 5 minutes for questions, it's making sure that you're prioritizing the questions that are applicable to the largest number of users who are logged into your event. After you've answered a question verbally, you can click Mark Answered to clear it off the list. It'll then show in this Answered tab. If you did that by accident, you can reopen the question and it'll put it back in the Unanswered tab. If somebody asks a question that you're not quite sure what they meant or that warrants more discussion, you can actually invite that user on screen. You can click the little plus icon here, and this will invite the user on screen. It asks you if you want to invite them, you click yes, and they'll get a pop-up on their screen asking them if they want to participate. And if they do, you can invite them on screen to talk about it. Once you've presented with that person and you want to kick them off the screen, you can simply come to the People tab here and remove them from the screen, and that will kick them off the screen and move them back to the attendee role where they can just participate in the talk. So since we're on the People tab, there may be other people that you want to invite on screen. Sometimes you have a moderator. Sometimes you have somebody who's going to introduce you. A co-panelist that's not set up ahead of time with the talk. You can simply search for their name, and you've got the same icon here. You can click add and invite them on screen. That will give them the privileges to come on camera. And again, if you want to remove them, you can simply click remove, and they'll no longer have access to coming on camera. All right. The next thing I want to talk about is polls. So polls add a really nice level of interactivity for live events. We always encourage presenters to do at least one poll, even if it's something silly. Just gets the audience kind of loose, makes them more engaged with your talk. At this point in the COVID world, everybody's seen so many online presentations. Anything you can do to spice them up is always great. So I'm just going to create a sample poll here. Click Create New Poll. I'm going to type in, what's your favorite color? And I'm going to type a couple answers. I'm going to do red, blue, and green. Once I've done that, I'm going to click Done. And you'll notice my poll is now set up. And you see there's two options here, visible and hidden. So what this does is I actually can create as many polls as I want to ahead of time. And like I said, you can log into your event days, weeks, months in advance, doesn't matter. You can set up your polls, set up your videos, set up anything else that we're about to go through. Then on the day of your event, during your presentation, when it's time to get to that poll and you want to take data on that, you simply click down here and you make the poll that you want visible. And that'll show up on the end user screen. Now I'm going to run over here to my other computer, and I'm going to go ahead and vote on the color red. And you see I've just voted. I'm the only one in the talk, so right now red has 100% of the votes. But basically, this will show a bar chart, a sideways bar chart, as the data comes in. And the data comes in real time, and you can see the results in real time, and so can the audience. So just a great way to take data with your audience and engage them in your presentation. And one more feature I want to talk about is videos. So we're a browser-based virtual conferencing software platform, and if any of you have ever tried to share videos embedded in a PowerPoint presentation through a screen share, a lot of times you can have slow or choppy videos. Most browsers don't allow you to share your system audio. So a lot of times when you play the video, it won't have audio, and it's just not a very good experience for the end user. So we actually have created a mechanism where you can upload and play and stream videos directly within our platform, high quality, high resolution with audio, and it's just a really good user experience for the end users. So to get to the videos, you simply click the videos tab down at the bottom. And when you get there, you have two options. You can pre-upload a video, or you can just play a local video. And what these two options are, like I said, since you can log into your event way in advance, you can pre-upload your videos ahead of time and basically create a playlist. So all your videos are here nicely organized in the live event, and you can just click share video for each video that you want to play. If you don't want to upload the video, or maybe you don't have permissions, we've had situations where a presenter doesn't own the rights to the video and they don't want to upload them to a third party. In that case, you can just click play local video, and that will actually just play the video right off of your computer hard drive. It doesn't send any data to our servers, so that video is not being uploaded. So I'm going to go ahead. In this case, I've uploaded this video called Buck Bunny. If you're not familiar, Buck Bunny is a public domain video that was created many years ago. It's just a good video for sort of testing these sorts of things out. So in this case, I'm going to go ahead and click Share Video. And you can see the video automatically starts playing. And the cool thing is, if I get to a point where I want to talk about it, let's say I want to talk about this hole right here, I can pause it, and I can start talking and say, oh, you see the little bunny sleeping inside that hole. And then after I've pointed that out, I can click play again. I can also rewind, fast forward, and as soon as the video gets to the end, it'll automatically go away, and my video feed will come back to the end users. So that's how you play a pre-uploaded video. And again, if you want to play just a local video, you can click play local video. It'll bring up your file browser. And in this case, I'm going to choose the same Buck Bunny video. Go ahead and click that, and you can see it plays it. And this time it's playing it right off of my file system. It's not uploading it anywhere. It's just streaming right from my file system and embedding it into the talk. So that's how videos work. Pretty simple. It's always best to upload videos at least a day in advance. Much like most video platforms, YouTube, Vimeo, we actually encode the videos so that they play faster when you try to play them during your event. So that's just my advice. They still will work if you upload them right before your talk, but it's always best to upload them in advance. A couple other things, if you for some reason want to turn your camera off, you can click the camera icon here, and this will turn your camera off. You can see the audio is still going, so people can still hear me, but my camera is turned off. And if you're part of a panel discussion and you want to mute yourself, you can click the microphone button here to mute. If at any time during your presentation you need help, you can click this help button down here, and you can live chat our team. Right now it says leave a message because we're after business hours, but during your event, this will say chat. You can chat with a live member of our team, and if you need help, we can send somebody over to your event immediately. Okay, so I've given you a run through of all the tools and how everything works in your live event. Really the next step that we have is to actually kick off the event and go live. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. So we've got everything set up. My event's supposed to start at 11. It's 11 o'clock. I'm going to go ahead and click go live. So when I click that, it pops up a message saying this will start broadcasting to everyone and the broadcast will be recorded. So in this case, we click yes, let's go. And I will note this process takes about 30 seconds. So just be patient, let it spin. Nothing's going wrong. There's a lot of server stuff that it's spinning up in the back end. So we're just going to let it sit here for a second. And you'll notice as soon as this is done going live, the green banner is going to disappear and we will be live. All right, so you can see this says a little pop-up at the top, says the stream has started. And the most important thing to note is now we have a clock down here at the bottom. So this is showing you how much time has elapsed in your talk. So you can basically start presenting. You can see through all this shuffle that we've done, our slides are no longer visible on the screen. You can just use your normal window management utilities to bring your slides back up. So in this case, I'm just gonna go down to the Mac dock. I'm gonna click my PowerPoint presentation and get it back on the screen. And then I can just start advancing my slides and giving my presentation. After the presentation is over, the only thing that you really have to do is click End Stream. Again, you can stop sharing if you'd like along the way. A lot of presenters stop sharing at the very end, and they'll take some questions. Click down here on the questions box, answer some questions, and then once your talk is completely over, you can click End Stream. And again, this takes a few seconds, but once it's done, basically kicks everybody, all your co-panelists and everybody off the air, and your event is then over, and all your users can get CEUs. And I do want to point that out. If you don't click End Stream, none of the people who are logged into your event will be able to get CEUs, so it's important that you don't forget to click End Stream. If you do forget, chances are there'll be somebody in the chat yelling that they can't get their CEUs, so you can be reminded to click that button. So I hope this was helpful. And if you have any questions, you can always just email support@behaviorlive.com, and we'll be happy to help you and guide you through any of these tools that we just demonstrated. Thank you so much for your time.